Good morning to everybody out there. Good morning. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Welcome back indeed. Markets are rallying, which is just phenomenal. Very, very happy about this. We talked about this yesterday. I said it several times. This is no crash. This could very well rebound, as soon as possible, given the fact that we have so much monetary support, fiscal support. Businesses are still doing well. And, unemployment is, getting lower and lower. I mean, I would say the overall economic situation is improving. And I thought, hey, we saw a 7.5 correction in the Nasdaq, right? We're seeing that now kind of reverse. We're seeing a bounce right here, a very euphoric bounce of about 4%. Keep in mind, it could still be a dead cat bounce. We go back down and then we rally properly. Regardless, if you bought right here, if you bought any stocks yesterday or even last Friday, you're probably green and you're doing pretty well for yourself today. As many stocks are rallying in the pre-market right now. And, the indices, look at that. Nasdaq up 1.8%. S&P is going up 1.2%. These are the futures, obviously. The Russell going up 1.7%. VIX is going down. Look, we said it was going to go down. Look what's happening. It is going down. We said that there was an irregularity with the VIX, that it doesn't usually stay this high for a prolonged time period. Keep in mind, 23 is still pretty high. Back in September, these were the heights of the VIX, some of the highest levels we've seen. And that is now a consolidationary level on the VIX, which I think that is kind of ridiculous. I think the VIX is going to come down more from here. I made a killing on a short. I was shorting the VIX actually from around 30. So very happy about that trade. You can see that the dollar is still going up. Lots of strength in the dollar right now. As there's been many liquidations in crypto, in the stock market, in commodities. Gold is going down here. You can see that right here. As the dollar is strengthening, you can see that the bond market is selling off as well because yields are going up. So you're seeing yields go up 1.2%, which is not a significant amount, but it's an indication that there's less fear. Oil is going up 2.2%. You see cryptocurrencies actually did go up a little bit, although arguably I would say not a significant amount. Still kind of consolidating around 50K on Bitcoin. Ethereum is around 4K. There we go. Cardano at 1.4. Doge is just a meme coin. Interestingly enough, they're all still doing pretty fine, actually. Okay, all right. Good morning to everybody out there. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. We're going to be streaming extra long today. I think it's going to be a very, very juicy day. We currently have a poll running, and I asked the question, are you bullish or bearish on growth stocks? I'm just curious what the sentiment is, because last week I did this same poll, and everybody was bearish, right? The majority was bearish. We're asking the same question, and we got 67% of people saying bullish, only 18% saying bearish this time around. So we're seeing a bit of a shift in sentiment. And keep in mind, last week we had the sentiment pretty much indicate that there is extreme fear, right? I wonder what the sentiment indicator is now telling us. See if we can find that real quick. All right, this is the sentiment indicator on CNN, which says it is still on extreme fear. And when I like to buy? I like to buy stocks when the sentiment is at extreme fear. I would say right now I'm still dollar cost averaging, as stocks are still, some stocks are still sitting quite low. Some stocks that I like, that I think are going to do quite well into the next weeks. But yeah, there you go. Stock breadth, extreme fear. Market volatility, extreme fear still. Momentum, still fear. Safe haven demand, extreme fear. Stock price strength, extreme fear. Put and call options, still very high. But you can see here that the sentiment has come down. This is the chart showing the sentiment over time. This is extreme greed. This is like extreme fear. Usually when we get to this lower part, and we don't really get lower than that, we only get there when we have a crash, really. That, we had seen something like that in 2018. We might get that in Q1, depending what's going to happen with the taper and everything. But I think that is something to keep in mind. It's still at extreme fear. I think it's still a good time to dollar cost average in many stocks out there. Let's get back to the chart. There you go. Alrighty. So still extreme fear in the market. A lot of people are still panicky. A lot of people are still not willing to buy. There is a lot of capital on the sidelines. Don't get this twisted. A lot of people have a lot of money on the sidelines and they don't know what to do with it. There's inflation. There's a lot of inflation. It is eating away at their capital and they're getting itchy. They need to put that money somewhere. And as soon as the market goes up, there's going to be a lot of FOMO, I think. A lot of people with a lot of money are like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my money. My purchasing power is going to go down. I need to put it somewhere. And I think it's still going to be into the stock market or crypto. I don't think it's going to be into real estate. I think most people do have money, but I don't think most people are able to buy real estate at higher prices. I think that's we've seen signals of that actually, that people are not able to buy homes anymore. But they do have enough money to buy stocks and to protect your own money from evaporating from inflation. I think stocks are the productive instruments that people use. And that has been the case for the whole year, really. And I think it's going to keep being the case until the money printer is going to stop. Until we're going to see interest rates rise. I think we're going to see the stock market just go up and up and up. I don't think we're going to get any crazy 20 or 30% crashes until we have a very bearish catalyst. So yeah, we had a 7.5% correction in the Nasdaq. I think the S&P went down about 5 or 6% or something. Yeah, so 5 percentage points again. And I think we're ready to go back up. And I think we're gonna have a Santa rally until the end of the year, most likely. I think CPI is. I have a gut feeling that the expectation for CPI is now adjusted to the upside. So if it's lower than the expectation, which was already adjusted to the upside, I think the market is going to just perceive it as something positive. And with regards to with the Fed, I don't think the Fed is going to raise rates. I have the uppermost confidence that the Fed is not going to be raising rates. Jerome Powell said it himself. We need to first let the economy come back. Corona has to be a thing of the past. That's when they're going to start raising rates. So I think for the next 6 months, we're still going to be fine. Although we still have that taper going on, which basically means that the money printer is going to stop printing over time. All right, let's see what's happening here in the individual stocks. I was very bullish on Bumble. Bumble is one of the buy and sell signals on Patreon. It's sitting at 35.6. It is up 7.2% right now. So that is going up. Sheg is also one of the buy and sell signals, up 0.1% at least. That's what it's saying right here, but I don't trust it. No, Sheg is actually going up 1.6% right now. So yeah, Sheg is going up 1.6%. Doing pretty good. GGPI going up 2.5%. One of the buy and sell signals on Patreon. Snapchat going up 3%. Twitter 2.5%. Beyond Meat 2%. CRISPR 2%. SoFi 4%. UiPath up 4%. Uber's another 3.4% coming Uber's way. Robinhood going up 3.3%. Virgin Galactic up 3%. DIDI is going up 2.8%. Alibaba is killing it right now. They got a new CFO. They're restructuring the business. Up 4.5%. I mean, this is amazing. Like, these are all the stocks that we cover, and they're all starting to bounce. We're finally seeing a bit of a momentum swing in those riskier assets, as the markets are now taking a bit of a breather, because I think there were some reports coming out about Omicron not being too dangerous, which is calming the markets, I would say, right as we speak. C3.ai up 3.1 percentage points. Palantir up 2.7%. Look at that, right? That is just great. I think it's going to keep going. I don't think this is going to stop necessarily, at least not short term. Facebook up another 1.3%. We wrote a whole article about Facebook. It's still within that range where I would consider it like pretty attractive. Apple about to be hitting all-time highs. Microsoft up 1.6%. Google up 1.6%. Amazon up 1.7%. Netflix. Everything just in degree. Even Lucid, right? Getting subpoenaed. 3.7% up in the pre-market. Rivian, 2.5%. Xpeng, 3.8%. Li Auto, 3.5%. NIO going up 5.1% right now. Tesla going up 3.2%. I mean, everything is looking good so far. But remember what I said previously, right? This could still be a dead cat bounce. We still have CPI coming up. We still have the FOMC meeting coming up. Not this week, next week. And I think this is a bit of a relief rally, because of news coming out about COVID, the Omicron variant. And I would argue that a lot of FUD is now priced into the stock market. So I would say very cautious still. But I think it's still time to be dollar cost averaging, regardless. I mean, I've been buying here, I've been buying here, I've been buying here. Although it's like, what matters is how much you're buying. You don't want to be buying a lot of stocks right there. I think that's a bad idea because it's only down 1% or 2%. We had very bad news. One sec, what am I doing? So I would argue that as the markets are getting lower, dollar cost averaging aggressively makes more sense. Give me 1 second here. All right. We have about 27 minutes left until the markets are going to go open. And so far, it seems like we're getting a bounce. Growth stocks are rallying this time around. Yesterday was, I would say, relatively minor. Not a whole lot of upside for the growth stocks. I would say the primary focus of yesterday's rally was the value stocks and the recovery stocks. And you can see right here, if we go to the recovery stocks, some of the recovery stocks that we follow. American Airlines went up 7.8%. Carnival Cruise, 8%. Look at big banks. Big banks went up substantially yesterday. And right now, those stocks are also going up. I would say not as much as yesterday, but we're seeing the growth stocks finally get back up a little bit. I'm mostly excited about Robinhood because, this stock just got hammered. Look at that selling pressure. Down 40% since just a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, really. And there are many, many examples out there that are looking quite similar to Robinhood. Which, Robinhood. Why is it still so low, though? It's quite a bit confusing. You can see that the 4-hour MACD is crossing. The RSI is heading up. Daily chart still very, very oversold. Tons of room to be running. I think it's going to get back to 30 fairly easily. Somebody said no reason to be joyful since the stocks have been down so much. I'm not viewing it that way. I think this could be a momentum swing coming up, which just basically would mean that we're going to recover, I would say, a lot of the losses that we've seen. Even ARK is going up. Yeah, ARK has had a very tough time. Oh my gosh. ARK incredibly oversold. I think I would consider buying ARK right now, maybe at this price. 97.6 in the pre-market. I think that's That's pretty decent. The Russell is still down about 9.5%. It's quite a large margin. And keep in mind, the Russell's gone sideways for the most of the year. For 10 months, I think for about 10 months, Russell's been going sideways and nowhere. With an upswing of approximately, starting the year. If you would consider the beginning of the year, then the Russell's up 14%, 14 to 15%, which is not bad. You can see that 4th of January. Let's just use the 31st of December, or 31st of December would be nice. From bottom to top, up 25.8%. Then we had the correction on the Russell, mostly of the tech growth stocks. And now it's only up about 15%. In comparison to like the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq is up something like, let me see if we can track this, 28%. That's not even at like the all-time high. From all-time high, it's like 33 percentage points. The S&P, beginning till end, about 25%. So the Russell is still lagging behind right here, and I think it's probably because of this run that we have seen in October, or starting October and November, where we had the Russell go up like 50 percentage points. So after that, we had a period of consolidation. Stocks can only go up so much. At some point, there is not an infinite amount of capital for the Russell to just keep going up parabolically. This was a pretty large run, and you might remember this. This was when the growth stocks started rallying like heavily during the lockdowns. That was a good time. That was a very good time to be in growth stocks, that is. So far, so good. Looks like markets are actually just staying pretty high. Looks like we might get a bit of a FOMO round coming in here. Although the VIX is not going down further. That's an interesting one. So the VIX is going sideways. At 20, it's sitting at around 24. And I've mentioned this before, but it's been quite some days. It's been quite some days that the VIX has been elevated like this. If we compare this to history, the volatility index does not stay high for 12 days. It usually spikes for a couple days and then it comes back down. 6 days, or what was this right here? 8 days. And we're going back in time pretty darn fast here. That was 4 days. This little period was 8 days. So it doesn't last, right? We don't see these kind of run-ups last a very long time. But then you compare it to now, where it's been like a good chunk of time, like 12 days. So yeah, is there a bigger move coming up? One might ask. Why is the VIX still elevated like this? That's kind of irregular. The last time this happened was, I think, 2020 when the stock market crashed. Which I think we're most likely going to see the VIX go down here, but I think it's nice to remain a little cautious with the VIX staying at 23.9 and not going down. That is a little bit strange to say. Let's see if the MACD. Yeah, so it should be topping out soon, and if it does top out, I think we've done this before. Let's say that the VIX is going to remain elevated. We'll keep that bottom that we had in early of this year. I still think there's a good chunk of downside coming up. Approximately about 16, 17 percentage points. But that is assuming that we're going to get that upper bottom. If we get a bottom that is more similar to the recent bottoms that we had, the VIX could come down something like 35%. Obviously, it's gonna take some time. But yeah, I still have a short on the VIX. I think I took a profit on like 80% of my positions, but I kept some. I thought, it's probably gonna keep bleeding. So yeah. What else are we seeing here? I think the Hang Seng Index went up 2.7%. You saw we're seeing Alibaba go up substantially right now. If we can check that out here, it's going up 4.5%. That is after going up 10.4%. We're seeing Baidu going up 2.2% after the 7.5% move. Tencent is heading up. It's looking phenomenal. This could be an interesting day for the Chinese tech stocks. And everywhere else, I mean, it's just green across the board. Looking quite good. I'm a little surprised by Apple going up, actually. I don't know why Apple's going up. It might just be because a lot of people are buying into these indices. But yeah, Apple's going up again. Back to back to back. Let's check the monthly chart. Yeah, this is getting crazy. I mean, just zoom out a little bit. And it's like that is a parabole, right? They usually do not. They don't collapse sideways. They come down the same way they came back up. So if we at some point into the future, if we see something happen here, slowing down of sales, or the economy slows down maybe a year from now, or rates going up causing sales to go down 6 months from now, or something like that, I think in the same fashion it went up, it's going to come back down. So I'm actually and if Apple comes down like that, then we're going to see the whole market come down like that. But yeah, near term, I think it's most likely not going to happen, but I think that's going to be happening on the long term. You can only grow so much, I think. What else are we seeing here? If I am going to be bullish on any big tech company, it's going to be Facebook. Facebook is still, from all-time highs, still down 16%. They have phenomenal earnings. I think they have phenomenal earnings. They have they have a lot of profits. They're still growing quite fast relative to their peers. And I think with the ticker change coming up, which is going to be in Q1 of 2022, with a clear pathway towards metaverse, right? I think Facebook is going to lead the way to Web 3.0. And I don't think it's going to be Apple. I don't think it's going to be Microsoft. It's probably going to be Facebook. I've tried their most recent VR headsets. It's some next gen technology, right? And it's not just Facebook working on that technology, but they're doing pretty good. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if in the future we're not going to be using smartphones anymore. We would be using some other platform. The same way we're not using these brick telephones. We went from brick telephones to normal phones to then smartphones. Who knows what's going to be coming up? Anyway, we got a donation, a $2 donation from Back to Orthodoxy. Hey, Gara, some good ideas for call options here. I'm not going to give financial advice, obviously. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to do that. What I'm going to say is not that. I personally I can't buy calls. I'm buying stock, and I'm also leveraging up every now and then if I get a good opportunity. I'm buying Robinhood personally. I'm buying Bumble. I'm buying Sheg, GGPI. I'm buying pretty much almost everything in this list. I'm buying, but I'm most bullish about Robinhood short term, Bumble, and I guess Virgin Galactic is sitting at like 15 or something right now, looking pretty juicy. And I also really like both C3 and Palantir. I think these have a lot of upside coming for them the next weeks. Alibaba sort of already kind of went up like 15 percentage points. I think it's going to go up more. And I keep in mind, I bought Alibaba at like 109 just recently. I'm very, very happy about that. While everybody was panicking, I was buying Alibaba at 109. I was like, damn, that's a bargain. I'll take it. That's probably going to be the lowest level we're going to be seeing for Alibaba for the next, I think maybe for the next 2 or 3 years. Pretty darn good chance that that is going to be the case here. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to take a... Oh, VIX is coming back up. We're seeing Nasdaq heading down slightly. S&P, Dow Jones, the Russell. Cryptocurrencies are still kind of flat. Seems more like it's going to be a dead cat bounce, really. For some reason, I mean, we're seeing green, but it's not really convincing. I don't think it is. Usually with a downturn like this in the growth stocks, we get like a 10% upswing in like everything. But this is, well, I would say still relatively mild. I mean, considering how much downside we have seen, I mean, just compare this, right? Twitter from this top here, 68, that was just, month and a week or two. Down 40%, it's up 10%. It's not a lot. So, yeah. It's going to be a patience game here. And some stocks are not going to recover, by the way. I think Helion, for example, I have a feeling Helion is going to stay relatively low. Especially companies that have revenues far into the future are getting hit substantially. Gara, what's your thought on BuzzFeed? They IPO'd yesterday. Did they really do that? BuzzFeed. Market cap of 353 million. BuzzFeed. Do they have revenues? What do their revenues look like? I think BuzzFeed is looking kind of interesting, actually. If BuzzFeed's market cap is 350 million, I just checked their revenues. They have revenues of about 400 million or something. 420 million dollars. No, not bad. I think it could bounce. Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised. I don't usually cover stocks with such a low market cap. Let's see. Can I even buy this right now? It has a very small market cap. That is what I know about it. Is it even listed on my trading app? I don't think so. I wouldn't mind buying a little bit because they're earning more than what their market cap is, basically, in their revenues. Which, many stocks have that. But I also think it's a little oversold, maybe. Down 41%. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Could be a nice little short-term swing trade. But that's kind of all I'm thinking right now with BuzzFeed. Oh, it's actually listed. I'm going to buy some BuzzFeed. YOLO. I think it might actually swing upwards to maybe 10 or 11, which is a good 20-30% upside from here. Some people saying that BuzzFeed is trash. I mean, look, I didn't even check their balance sheet. They have $420 million in revenues. Their market cap is sitting severely below that. There are companies out there with no revenue that are trading at such high multiples, like Lucid. They have no revenues. They maybe made a couple cars, which I don't think they actually gave them to the public. They gave them to employees. Lucid is trading at an 80 billion plus at the max height of like 100 billion market cap with no revenues. They're burning billions of dollars. BuzzFeed sitting at a 350 million market cap, down 40% from all-time high. Like, that could swing 20%, I think, like at the drop of a hat, especially considering the bullish momentum that we're seeing in the growth stocks. So yeah, that is my opinion on it. I think it's a short-term swing trade. That's it. You know, I'm gonna see what happens with this. This could be interesting. Oh, I'll just like put it down below. Actually, I just want to see what happens with this one. I'm definitely not a fan of BuzzFeed necessarily, but I think it could just upswing 20% like that. Okay, right. So our market's doing well. I think we're seeing markets kind of slowly roll over a little right before market open. The classic dump right on market open. We see that very often. Gary, you didn't even look at the technicals. What technicals? Like, I mean, there's not a whole lot to see here. We can maybe go even at the 30 minutes. Like, there's not a whole lot to see with BuzzFeed. MACD is crossing on the Nasdaq. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get a rollover into. Let's see. Can we draw that? I think we're gonna get back to 16K short term. Retest 16,000, which would indicate about 100 points down, which is about almost 1%. I think maybe 0.7% or something. Yeah. So I think we're gonna see a bit of a dump into open, because we get that very often, and the MACD is crossing to the downside. You know, you can see the RSI is still very overbought, which is to me an indication that we could definitely see this roll over short term. One moment. Bumble's up 7.2%. Nice. Shag 1.2%. Snap 2.6%. Looking pretty good. Yeah, that could be the case, right? We could see another drawdown. And we're sitting at resistance, and on the Nasdaq, we broke through 16K, right? And we're about to retest potentially. I mean, we'll know soon enough. If it breaks through and we're up like 2.5%, I don't see us going down. It's just going to recover upwards at that point. Right. We have about 5 minutes left, by the way. We have 5 minutes left until the market is going to be opening up here. Make sure you hit that like button. That would be very much appreciated. And I'm just going to quickly link the stream here. so people know that we're live. It's so funny because I think yesterday we got like double the amount of viewers that we usually get. And I was like, why is that happening? Some people were saying Meet Kevin was on vacation. And so I checked and he wasn't live, right? Because he's live around this time as well for Market Open. And today it's going back to normal viewers. So I was like, huh? So what happened? Meet Kevin is live right now. So you're seeing like a lot of people, like almost, I think more than half of the people that watch are actually watching Meet Kevin live, maybe even at the same time. I really underestimated that. I thought it was like 10 or 20 percentage points. Why did I say percentage points? Which, interesting. Man, he's becoming pretty darn big. And I'm happy for him. I think it's awesome. He has his own private plane, I thought, or from what I've seen. I follow him on Instagram. It's pretty dope. Let's see. Baba, 129.8, up 5%. What's happening to Nano Dimension? 1.4%. Huh. C3, 3.5%. Okay. Palantir, 2.4%. And we're still lagging behind with the growth stocks. I think most people are still not like... most people are not buying into the growth stocks yet, I think. They're either stuck in it or they are staying away from growth because of the drawdown that we've seen. And I think it also makes sense given the fact that when interest rates go up, because that's like the fear right now, it's going to be those growth stocks that are going to be affected severely. So we're kind of seeing a reaction here. Interesting. It's all because of Jerome Powell saying that the tapering was going to be accelerated. If it wasn't for that, trust me, we would have not seen the amount of selling that we've seen. I wonder. So markets are opening up in about 2 minutes. Make sure you smash that like. And I want to check the poll right now. I asked, are you bullish or bearish on growth stocks? 67% said bullish, 18% said bearish. I think the result didn't really vary. It's just the same result. So I'll be adding another poll in a second. I want to actually ask, are you bullish or bearish on Robinhood? Because Robinhood has been doing nothing, even as everything goes up. There we go. All right, we have about a minute and some until the market is going to be moving, or is going to be opening up. And I want to see what happens with, let's see, which stock is interesting right now. Maybe Tesla? I guess Tesla's quite interesting. Let's check Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla's up 3.4%. I believe Elon Musk had a conference call with the Wall Street Journal, and he basically he gave a bit of a speech, answered some questions and whatnot. So I asked, are you bearish or bullish? And a lot of people are bearish on Robinhood stock. Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that there was so much bearish sentiment on a stock that's down so much. You know, Robinhood is down 40% in like 2-3 weeks. That is insane. And the markets are officially open. You can see that indices are going up still, including Tesla. Tesla's actually going up quite a bit here. It is still holding up. Maybe I jinxed it. No, I'm kidding. We'll see. Overall, we're seeing a lot of green. You know, Nasdaq still heading up higher. Same for the, I guess the Russell's also up 1.4%. Although we're seeing selling into Tesla. Huh. Interesting. GGPI is going up, by the way. I'm looking at my GGPI right now. 1 second. What is happening here? So chaotic. Tesla's actually heading down about 1%, yet the Nasdaq is remaining still quite elevated. And if we scroll down here, Bumble is going up 10.3 percentage points right now. Wow, that is amazing. Bumble is taking on the lead. Sheg up 1.6%. BuzzFeed up 1.6%. GGPI going up 2 percentage points. Everything green. ChargePoint is going green, 6%. Twitter, 2%. Snapchat, 3%. Tesla, only 2%, right? A little bit disappointing, but Robinhood is up 3%. Virgin Galactic, 3.4%. Alibaba, up 4%, coming down slightly. Man, what is going on with Bumble? Do we see Bumble? Like, what the hell is going on? That is awesome. I'm holding a bunch of Bumbles, so that is amazing. Good news. Bumble's heading up 11 percentage points. That is fantastic. What are we seeing with Palantir? Palantir is up 2%. Wow. I mean, that is just amazing. Okay. I'm just adjusting some of my plays here. My trading app is doing a little weird, like it usually does. Hold up. Yeah, it's not really allowing me to buy anything for some reason. Why? What? It is literally not allowing me to buy anything as I'm watching these stocks go up higher. That is frustrating. Okay, what can I buy then? Let me see. I'm trying to make some adjustments here, but it's pretty difficult to do that when yeah, it's still not allowing me to do anything. And I'm literally just watching stocks go up right now. You can see the Nasdaq up 1.9%, Russell up 1.8%, and everything is going higher. Bumble is still going higher. I sold some of my Bumble actually at around 37. I thought this was quite a nice swing here. What is going up with C3? Look at that. C3 going up 7 percentage points. One more. I think they're allowing me to buy stuff now. That's great. Okay. I bought some Neo at 34. I bought some Palantir at 19.4. I wanted to buy it at 19.2, but they didn't allow me. So, and people complain about Robinhood. It's like, you're complaining about Robinhood? Are you kidding me? It's much worse on other trading apps, I think. At least that's my opinion. Yeah, Bumble, look at that Bumble rally. Holy moly. That is crazy. 37.4. That is fantastic. Yeah, people, I don't know why people are surprised about C3.ai going up like 8%. Like, it's all about fundamentals. They had a great earnings report. The fact that they had a downturn on earnings doesn't mean anything. It just means a whale decided to sell some stock. Doesn't mean anything. Their business is still going to grow substantially. They're going to do good into the future. So long as markets are going to be stable, I think C3 is going to bounce back very viciously with vengeance. It's going to be a matter of time until we see that. Skyrocket substantial. I think it's going to go up so much. Hold up. What else did I want to do here? So I'm still very bullish on C3. I'm holding a bunch of C3.ai stock, roughly around 1,000 shares of C3.ai, with and without leverage. Let's see. CRISPR is up 6%. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, right? Bumble is part of the buy and sell signals. Sheg is part of the buy and sell signals. GGPI, part of the buy and sell signals on Patreon. Snapchat, Twitter, Beyond Meat, CRISPR, not ChargePoint, SoFi, UiPath, Uber, Robinhood, Virgin Galactic. These are all stocks that are going to bounce substantially in the coming weeks. And I think these are still very, very attractive prices. Even though we're seeing them go up, it's a small amount relative to the losses we've seen in the past weeks. Baba is cooling off a little from what I'm seeing here. And what is happening here with Neo? Neo is starting to come back down. Interesting. Bumble is still going. Oh my gosh. Bumble is going like crazy right now. Look at Bumble. Bumble. 37.4. Bumble ran up like 25% though. That's a lot. One moment. Why is Neo going down so much? What the hell? Neo has Neo Day coming up. That makes no sense. Yeah, it's just it's starting to dump out of nowhere. That's kind of frustrating. Can we just load up the MACD here? There we go. I mean, the weekly MACD is still negative though, so I guess that's the thing that's going on. I don't think that this is a bad price though. We're sitting at support. Bit of a head and shoulder pattern. MACD is about to cross on the 4-hour chart. And Lucid is still at 45. No revenues, getting investigated right now by the SEC. And then we have Neo sitting at like half the market cap. Like, what is going on in this world? But that's just, I guess that's what's happening. You know, I think Neo Day is going to be a very big catalyst for Neo stock. It's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. AI is still up 6%. PALANTIR up 3%. Bumble starting to come back a little bit. But look at that BuzzFeed. What did I say about BuzzFeed? I said that because BuzzFeed was oversold and their market cap is sitting relatively low, that there was a high chance that it was going to be heading up higher. And it's exactly what we're seeing right now. One sec. Oh, never mind. BuzzFeed going down. Yeah, we're seeing some stocks cool off a bit. I'm just trying to... But Neo is going up the most of all EV stocks right now. It is Neo that's going up the most. About 4.5%. And we have Neo Day coming up on the 18th of December, which is right around here. That's going to be in the weekend, right? So there is a pathway to, I think, the 40s, all the way to Neo Day. Baba is tanking. Yeah, a lot of stocks are starting to, come down a little bit, at least from what we're seeing here. Palantir is still actually remaining quite high. That's nice. Why is Neo coming down? Does anybody understand this? That's like 3.5% right there. I guess we did have a big swing up, 16 percentage points. And there's a gap right here. I mean, this should be a runaway gap. Look at Tesla sitting at $1 trillion market cap. I mean... I think what's happening is that investors could potentially be looking at Neo and thinking like, We had several months of bad deliveries. We had the share offering that kind of diluted the stock. That has been quite negative, and I would say if you would compare NIO to XPeng and Li Auto, NIO is delivering less vehicles, and that's the problem. It's sitting at a higher market cap than both XPeng and Li Auto, yet it's delivering less vehicles. Like, why is that? So it's because obviously XPeng is delivering cheaper models, so it's not 1 + 1 is 2. It's a bit more complex than that. But yeah, they're going to be announcing a cheaper vehicle. They're going to be announcing a new model on NIO Day, and I think that's going to be quite significant. And I think if in the coming months we won't be seeing those supply issues constrain NIO's delivery numbers, then we're gonna go all the way back to $50-$60. I think the time frame is quite important, though. China fear doesn't go anymore. I don't think that goes because XPeng is sitting at 47. Keep in mind, XPeng was sitting at 34 in October, so that is not a good argument. Because look at this, XPeng went up 40%. What happened to NIO? Nothing. Sitting at the bottom. It's not the China fear. I do not believe that this is China fear. I think this is very much related to NIO itself and their delivery numbers in comparison to the competitors. Yeah, that's what's going on. I am not worried though. I am very confident NIO is going to roar back up substantially, and a lot of people are going to miss out on this. Yeah, look at this. I mean, it's just it hasn't gone anywhere in 2021. Forget about all those YouTubers saying that it was, NIO was going to go to $300. I remember those days. We're not even a tenth of that right now. Or no, almost a tenth. About a tenth of $300. Gara, Virgin Galactic is flying. Yeah, there you go. Going up about 5%. I wouldn't call that flying, but hey, it's an upswing. That's great for anybody holding it. Bumble coming back down quite a bit, actually. Sheg is still flying higher. GGPI heading up higher. Uber is about to test 40 again, or has tested. Yeah, there you go. It hit 40, came back down again. And we're also seeing Netlist not quite recovering, just going flat. That must be annoying for the people holding Netlist right now. And yeah, Baba is sitting at 126. DIDI is sitting at 7. I think DIDI, I don't know why it's sitting at 7. It's going to get delisted, at least from what I know. It's going to get delisted. So holding DIDI doesn't make sense anymore short term. Damn, Apple, new all-time high, I think, right? Or about to be hitting an all-time high. See if we can draw a trend line. Yeah, I think we're heading we're heading to like 172, 173-ish, maybe. There we go. So I think we could see another couple percent. MACD just recently crossed. We're not overbought on the 4 hours, so I think there's a little room left. And Nasdaq's still strong. Nasdaq is not coming back down. Nice. So far, so good. Russell's starting to go back up. A lot of green candles right there on the 4 hour. The VIX is coming down. Interesting. That is definitely something interesting right there. Why is Robinhood going down? What the hell is happening with Robinhood? It's only up 1%. You're kidding me, right? That is surprising. It is still going down, even with all these momentum stocks going up. And how much are we down on Robinhood? Let's just get the lowest price from IPO, down 33%. To the bottom, 37, 38%. And that was the lowest price at the IPO. That is tough, man. That is definitely tough. Looking pretty tough. Bumble starting to correct a little bit. I'm very glad I sold at 37 because I thought this was going to come down a little. And I guess it is coming down a little bit. And what else are we seeing? Neo is getting back to 33.5. Palantir 19.34. Interesting. Yeah, markets are coming down, but the indices are not. We're seeing growth stocks coming down. Indices are not. So this is probably caused by Apple and Microsoft and the rest. Yeah, there you go. What did I say, right? It's going to keep going up higher. New all-time highs on Apple. 170.7. Still going higher, flying higher as we speak. Microsoft heading up higher. You know, it's big tech leading the way with regards to the Nasdaq. I think this is probably not a dead cat bounce, although I do think there is some resistance at 16.4K. So we'll see, which would be another 1.5% from here. I'm going to have to make some adjustments right now. Hold up. Hold up. So far, so good. What's happening with GGPI? GGPI is coming down. Bumble's coming down. Sheg is coming down. Robinhood coming down. Path coming down. SoFi coming down. ChargePoint coming down. Baba went down a bit. Now we're seeing semiconductors come back up. All right, AMD, NVIDIA. C3 came down a bit. Palantir came down a bit. Why is that? Because the Russell is still doing strong. Like, it is still very, very strong. Dow Jones is up 1.2%. Are value stocks rallying right now? Oh, yeah, there you go. Big banks. All right, classic. So, yeah, yields are going up, so big banks are going up along with yields. Value stocks are green as well overall. And we're seeing growth stocks lose momentum very quickly. Interesting. Small cap need that big tech money. Yeah, I think that tech is. I think the capital is rotating very fast from small caps back into big tech, back into other places. At least from. Oh wow, look at NEO. I'm gonna buy some more NEO. Let me have some of that NEO. $33. Come on, it's a bargain. We got NEO Day coming up very soon. Worst case scenario gets back to like 28 or something. It's like, okay, I don't care. I'll buy more at 28. If you can give me some NEO at 28, I'll buy it. I don't mind. I think 30 seems to be more likely though at this point. What else are we seeing? Yeah, Virgin Galactic still up 5%. A lot of momentum going there. Robinhood is just stuck. It is just stuck. It's being shorted. People don't want to buy it. People don't like it. And it's just stuck at 22. Bumble's actually coming back up now. Indices are just flying higher and higher and higher. Look at that. Nasdaq going up 2.17%. And why is that? Well, look at Apple. Look at Microsoft. Look at Google. Look at Amazon. All of them skyrocketing. And the smaller caps are taking a beating again here. Although some of them, IONQ is going up 10%. Bumble up 11.3%. Still looking kind of good, but you get what I mean. It's kind of slowing down in many areas. DIDI is coming up now. Okay. Imagine you didn't sell DIDI right here when you had the perfect opportunity to get out when the delisting news came. You would have lost about 30%. Unrealized loss, but yeah, it's kind of tough. PALANTIR is coming back up. The Russell is just surging above resistance right now, which is around 2,250. Which, if it does indeed go up above this level, it could just keep going. Just consolidate a bit and just keep going. Let's go all the way to 2,300. What do you think of PayPal? I like PayPal at 175, 180. It's now sitting at 189. I still think it's looking pretty good at that level. I don't think it's that expensive. Versus like at 270. At 189, it's still looking okay. Disney, same story. Disney sitting at 150. I mean, come on. How many discounts do we get in Disney? Like the last time we had a 30% discount on Disney was the COVID crash. And before that, that was 2016. And we got a sweet discount on Disney right now of about 24%. Used to be about 30%, but it came back up. Nasdaq's still rallying. Russell's still rallying. And remember what I said just a couple days ago. You know, remember the fear. Remember the panic. Every single person out there thought that the market would crash, that it was the worst time to be in the market, that it was the worst time to be buying the dip. And guess what happened? The exact opposite happened of what people thought. Surprise, surprise. When everybody's fearful, that is, in my opinion, one of the perfect opportunities to be dollar cost averaging. When everybody's greedy, you might want to be a little cautious and have some capital on the sidelines. And this proves it, you know, time and time again. We've been streaming for 1 year plus every single time. This is the same cycle. I can show you right now. I mean, and there's like video evidence. There's, you know, we streamed every single day for like a year. You know, you get peak fear, and that's a buying opportunity. Right? Peak fear, and then you get a buying opportunity. Peak fear, you get a buying opportunity. Likewise, let's just delete this. You get peak greed. You know, there's a metric for this. You can check the CNN fear and greed level. They'll track it for you. When there's extreme greed, you want to be cautious because then you get a downturn, and we got the downturn. So, yeah, look at that, man. I mean, that is just insane. That's 2.25% on the Nasdaq right now, 2.57% on the Russell. I mean, this doesn't look like a dead cat bounce anymore. Like, at this point, it's like, looks a little too good. But, yeah. All right, let's see. Robinhood is still stuck, only up 2%. Bumble up 12%. Sheg up 1.5%. GGPI not doing anything. Snapchat up 6%. Twitter up 2.8%. Virgin Galactic 5%. Baba, DIDI. Look at that, PALANTIR heading up. What is happening with NEO? What is happening with NEO right now? It's just not budging. Confusing. Yeah, Bumble's getting back up. Okay, we're seeing PALANTIR slowly get back up to 20. We're like 2 percentage points away from that. C3 sitting at 32. Oh, it's just still going. Look at that, it's still selling off. Why are people selling it off? It's just, and it's just NEO, right? Or not? No, okay, it's not just NEO. Okay, we're seeing it happen with XPeng, Li Auto, and everything else. It's not happening with Tesla. It is happening with Lucid. It's happening with Rivian too. Strange. Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano are heading up. Interesting. Gara, it doesn't always work, does it? C3 DIDI is a prime example. Small rallies, huge drops. I mean, if it always worked, if I made money on every single trade, trust me, I wouldn't be live streaming. I would have my own private island, and I would be probably at the beach drinking some cocktail and just chilling all day, every day. Some people think that like I am assuming that I'm always right. That is not the case. C3.ai is a good example, right? It's I think most people might know. This is a stock that I bought. It's now sitting at $32. I bought it at $170, right? I bought this stock at $170, right? I can show you right here in the chart. There we go. Right on here, peak, right? So I bought it right there. And that was when yields were very low. So we had yields at sitting like 0.7 or something, 0.8%. I thought that was going to remain the same. Didn't happen, but, you know. So I bought it there. I noticed that it was falling very hard. And I saw that the yields were going down, or going up, sorry. And right around there, around 160, I took a loss. And I started averaging down on C3.ai. Little did I know, C3.ai was going to fall for another quarter or two. It's pretty much until now, really. And I kept averaging down. I took another loss at 130, I believe. I was averaging down, and I took a loss. I was like, oh, this is dropping way too fast. This is probably going to keep on dropping because yields were skyrocketing. And as yields are going up, stocks that have very high multiples will have to prove themselves with really good earnings. And I thought that the recent earnings were kind of dismal. So I was just kind of slowly dollar cost averaging. And then over time, you know, I had an average of like $100, of $80, $70. Right now I've got an average of about $40. And holding this stock for about, I would say probably 9 months, something like that. I said this is one of my short-term losers, right? That's how it goes. You cannot win all the time. In fact, I would argue you're going to lose a lot of the time. I think what is really important is to keep in mind when you're losing, how do you manage your risk? Are you able to turn a loser into a winner? Are you able to lose little amounts versus large amounts? Or are you letting your winners run, right? So I think it requires a lot of expertise and experience, and to be even doing this. You know, most people don't outperform the markets. Most people lose money in the markets. You know, stock picking. Most people are better off going into ETFs and just getting into an index for the next 20 years, because then you'll at least probably quadruple your money. You know, every 7 years your money or doubles, because you know you get an annual return of about 10%. My gosh, NEO is still going down. That is so. Just took tax loss harvesting with C3. Yeah, I think C3. If you're down on C3, maybe like I think a lot of people are doing that actually. This is so harsh. I'm not seeing the green that I was hoping for. I mean, look at this. You know, with the Nasdaq up 2.36%, you would think you would see like growth stocks up 5 to 10%. You know, some are up 10%, but like most are like up 2 or 3%. Then you have some outliers. Even recovery stocks are outpacing some growth stocks that we're seeing. Yeah, NEO's getting wrecked. All that red, you know. How many days is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a complete week of red. More than a week. 8 days. All that red. All that selling pressure. That's prior to NEO Day. Really, really strange. Haven't seen anything like that recently. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I personally like the stock at 33. I like it a lot at 30, but 33 is not bad. I think the price of 33, valuation of $52 billion. I mean, NIO is actually delivering cars, unlike Lucid or Rivian. They're getting somewhere. There are some tensions between America and China, but I don't think they're like gonna delist NIO or anything. Palantir is now starting to move upwards. Look at that, hitting 19.84, up 5.5%. Snowflake is outpacing it by 1.5%. Snowflake up 7%. Big tech still rallying, and Robinhood still stuck. Bumble, look at that. Bumble up 12.5%. Massive amount of volume, and I would say not volume. Actually, I don't think there's a lot of volume. Is there? Not too significantly. Sheg is about to hit 30. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let me see if we can zoom into that. Huh. Oh, we're hitting 30 on Sheg. We're hitting 30 on Sheg. Path is heading up to 47. Virgin Galactic up 6.2%. That's wild. It's pretty wild. Sheg is having a tough time getting above 30 properly. Although we are seeing a MACD cross there. Baba is cooling off. I would say Chinese tech stocks are cooling off a little. NIO is climbing a little bit. Just a tiny tad. Still a gap all the way to 32.5 there. MACD crossing on the 15-minute chart. Looks like it's not able to hold at 33. If there's any sort of market downturn right now, let's say markets go down a bit, I think NIO is going to get back to like 32, like in an instant. But so far, markets are still climbing, no correction. I think we're not going to have a debt cap balance at this point. I mean, this looks very much like a proper rebound from the bottom. It is. I think it's because of big tech, right? Yeah, there you go. Big tech is just mega green right now. Well, big tech, small tech, everything. YouTube video suggesting don't buy NIO, delisting risk may be affecting people. Heck, I mean, DIDI didn't ever get. DIDI is not even delisted yet, right? So that's going to take some time. And there's no announcement whatsoever whether NIO is going to get delisted. It's a lot of FUD. I think there's so much FUD right now. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They have been saying since the beginning of time that NIO was going to get delisted, that XPeng was going to get delisted, Alibaba was going to get delisted. Never, ever happened. Yes, like legislation is moving that way. Doesn't mean anything yet. I think there is still a high chance it's going to swing back up quite substantially for NIO Day. And even if it gets delisted, you're going to have Hong Kong shares. Robinhood 22.44, 45. CRISPR 7.5%. Beyond Meat, look at that. Look at that on Beyond Meat, by the way. Oh my gosh, MACD crossing. I think it's going to fill the gap to 90 in the next weeks. Looking pretty solid. Are we finally seeing a bit of momentum with Robinhood? I guess we do. Just a tiny bit of momentum with the hood. If they get a piece of good news, it's going to go up like 30% in just like that. So just saying. Let's get back to the indices. Indices coming back down. So far, it looks like whenever the indices come back down, capital goes back into growth stocks. I mean, look at this. Virgin Galactic now going higher, up 7%. I mean, it's getting crazy. Semiconductor still up. PLTR 19.8. AI is going up 7%. Oh, let's go. Sheg is actually above 30 again. Or am I jinxing it? I think I'm jinxing it, right? It's going to go below now. So frustrating. It's having such a tough time getting above 30. Yeah, I bought this thing at like 29 and I averaged down all the way to 24. And right now it's sitting at 30, which is just great. I mean, even at the highest price that I bought, I'm, still up like 3.5%. So yeah, Sheg has been outperforming. Virgin Galactic holding up. Bumble holding up. Yeah, Bumble doesn't look like it's going down. Neo climbing a little. Oh, Apple. Look at that. Apple is not going. It is not heading down. Facebook 323. I still think Facebook is super cheap versus like the overall market, overall big tech. BuzzFeed up 0.5%. One sec. I'm gonna quickly buy some BuzzFeed now. See if the market is going to take that. Yeah, I mean, it's a small market cap, so. Robinhood climbing again. There we go. I bought a small amount of BuzzFeed, $200 of BuzzFeed. Small amount. I think that should work. I want to see what happens with this. I am going to swing trade this. I might add more if it goes down substantially. I mean, look at this. Like, wow, this is a lot of selling. Like, damn. Look at that. All the way down, 40%. I think that's because of the selling that we've seen the past days. Isn't it? It was I think the sentiment overall was quite bearish. Which doesn't help an IPO. But yeah, let's just not focus on this too much. It's just a tiny little stock that I'm buying. Seems like Robinhood is heading up again. Isn't it? Yeah, Robinhood, let's go. 2.8% to the upside. Virgin Galactic up 7.4%. Keep in mind, these are most of the buy and sell signals that we have. They're all green today after all the downside we've seen. And now we're looking at green on value stocks, recovery stocks, everything, right? And now to mention BNGO going up. Big Tech is going up. Neo is still getting hammered. Still getting hammered. Not really seeing a lot of upside there. Although C3 is getting close to 33, Palantir is still sitting at 19.7. I mean, Palantir was sitting at like 18 just yesterday or something, right? A couple days ago. So it's bouncing quite nicely. Nasdaq is up 2.5%, and that is looking phenomenal. We got the Russell up 2.67%, S&P up 1.8%. This is a great rebound from the bottom. It seems like the fear of Omicron is starting to dissipate. Hopefully, we're going to see the VIX also come down here, and we'll see some green days in the coming weeks. I think there's a high chance of that being the case. As I'm buying BuzzFeed, it goes down another 3%. Oh well, sometimes that's how things go. I want to look at their balance sheet very soon. The reason I bought BuzzFeed is because I didn't buy a lot, just a small, very small amount. I saw that the revenues were much higher than their market cap, and I saw that it was down 40%, right? It's like, what the hell? So that kind of intrigued me, and me having a couple $100 in it, I'm gonna probably do a little bit of research on it, see what I can find. I might sell at a loss, who knows, but I thought it was quite interesting for a swing trade. And I'll be buying more if it's actually a good trade, if it's actually if it has great fundamentals. And trust me, I don't buy stocks just randomly that often. I think right now it's quite random, but I thought it was an opportunity because there was a lot of negative sentiment. So an IPO right now would be very bad. So yeah, like imagine Rivian did its IPO now. It would not get a valuation of like whatever it got, right? Because there's a little bit more negative sentiment out there in the markets. So far so good. Yeah, I mean, overall green. DIDI up. DIDI is up 8.5%. Okay. Oh, look at that. Tesla's actually starting to really go up here. Yeah, 4.2% now. Sitting at 1,050. Yeah, we had an opportunity just recently to buy Tesla below 1,000. You can see that right here. I mean, I would say that's pretty sweet. Like below 1,000, I would consider it, not the best buying opportunity, but it is a buying opportunity. It is better than above 1,000. Like 1,050, I think is still quite expensive. I'm mostly afraid of what's going to happen with Q1, which is going to be the most stressful quarter, I think, of the year. It usually is for Tesla, the most stressful quarter. Oh my God, look at that Nasdaq. Green candle after green candle, just skyrocketing, surging, volume spiking. Jeez, and it just does not stop. My gosh. Up 2.6%. The Russell's up 2.7%. Wow. ARK going up 5.6%. S&P up 1.8%. This is looking phenomenal. This is looking quite nice. With the VIX now going down further. One moment. Looking pretty good. Is the VIX going to go down all the way? It looks like it's going to go. I think the VIX is going to fill this gap, which would indicate 17% downside. Robinhood is suddenly starting to come back up. Nice. Lovely. That is pretty sweet. I have a feeling that the camera is maybe too... yeah, it was sitting too low. Bumble heading down. What is happening to Neo? What's happening to Palantir? Not much, but still up huge. Even AMC, look at that. AMC. Let's check what's happening with the meme stocks. Even GME going up 8%. Wild. Wow. Gold up, dollar up. Interesting. TLT going down. Yields going up just slightly. Crypto is still moving higher. I think that's also a bit of a surprise. The fact that the cryptos are... Seems like we're seeing everything. Just it's like an everything rally, really. I'm going to check my own cryptos here. Nice. Everything is going up, right? Not a whole lot going down, aside from BuzzFeed, interestingly enough. So, luckily, I only bought like $200 of this because it's going down 5%, almost 5%. I wonder why, though. I mean, from what I've seen, they had good revenues. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah, somebody just... yeah, this is the Santa rally, potentially. I think if the Nasdaq is not going to be pulling a debt cap balance, that's it. This would be the Santa rally until the end of the year. It's not going to be without bumps. I think there's substantial resistance here. So if we head up all the way to 16,400, we get back to support here, which would be around, I think it's going to be around 16.1K. And then we bounce off. I mean, that is the Santa rally right there for you. If that is not a Santa rally, I don't know what is a Santa rally. But this is the most optimistic case, I think, where we just keep going until we hit a resistance, a speed bump. And that would be a move of approximately, that was quite a big move right there, 5.6%. Then we pull back, consolidate potentially, and we keep on going until the end of the year. So yeah, looking good. I'm not very worried right now. I think the fear and greed index is still sitting quite high though, even with this rally we're seeing here. I want to check that right now. I think it's still sitting very high. Like a lot of people still are fearful. Yeah, I'll show you. I think I'll be able to show you right now. This is the fear and greed index, as you can see right here. It is still sitting at fear. We were sitting at extreme fear for a couple days. Last week was fear. Now it's still fear. And I still think it's a great time to be dollar cost averaging, although a little bit less maybe. But yeah. As we go to extreme greed, that's when I personally start to take some profits. But we were at extreme greed like a week ago or something. No, 2 weeks ago. You see that little top right here. That is peak greed. And that's when the correction started happening. Nice little indicator to follow. It does lag a little bit, but it gives some perspective on what is happening in the markets, or at least with the psychology of investors. If I could just load my chart, that would be amazing. It's black screen right now. There you go. So far, so good. Markets are pausing a little bit now. Oh yeah, by the way, we have like 400 people watching right now. I would really appreciate it if you would hit that like button for this awesome rally that we're seeing in the markets. And keep in mind, hit that subscribe button as well. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you are notified. We are live every single day from Monday till Friday, 8:45 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time for market open and market close. So 2 live streams every single day. Would really appreciate it if you would hit that like and subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. And let me know in the live chat, by the way, which stocks you'd like me to cover. And I'm always reading live chat, even if I'm like not necessarily replying. I'm reading the live chat. So let me know in the chat, which stocks would you like me to take a look at. Also, make sure you follow me on social media. We have a Twitter, Instagram, Discord community, a TikTok. Links are down below. I'm always super active on Instagram, Twitter, and Discord. So definitely do make sure you check it out. And you can ask me questions. And it's really cozy in the Discord. So let's turn that off. All right. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in some of these growth stocks. down 40, 50 percentage points, but yet only up 3, 4%. I mean, that's a little weak. A little bit of weakness in the growth stocks, relatively speaking. I don't know if many of you remember what happened in May, but in May we had a huge rebound in growth stocks back when we had the sell-offs in February and March and after that. So far, it doesn't seem like we're getting the same bounce here. Jerome Powell announces that the taper is going to be quicker on December 4th and 15th, and CPI's higher market will go down. Could be the case, yeah. It could be the case. December 15th is going to be an interesting one. I think with regards to December 15th, it's still 8 days away, and markets were down 7.5%. And we did have slower job data. We have Omicron, right? New variant. So who knows? Maybe it's going to get delayed. Maybe the acceleration doesn't necessarily happen this month. It could be happening next month. He said he was going to look into it. I think nothing is confirmed yet. It's always nice to have some capital on the sidelines. I think it's a bad idea to be all in stocks, obviously. So, if you have capital on the sidelines, obviously this is not financial advice. Usually you get through these times fairly easily. Is Volkswagen going up? Really? No way. No. Is this the right one? Or yeah, the OTC market, 3.8%. So NEO is just not doing anything. NEO is just not budging right now. Strange. Hood is only up. Wait, okay, so let me just get this straight. Hood went up 9.5% from the bottom, but that's from the bottom, right? So it's relatively easy to go up 10% at that point. From the IPO price, lowest levels, it is still down 32%. And that's from the lowest IPO price. And then you have this, which also had some history. And it's still not able to pull back up. Same with the Virgin Galactic, by the way. Like, geez. People don't have an appetite for these risky stocks anymore. At least not the same kind of... I'm not seeing the same kind of momentum that we used to see. It's all going into big tech. See, big tech is just... big tech is outperforming small caps by like a large margin. And what else are we seeing? Nvidia now killing it. 4.7% to the upside. AMD, 2.6%. You got the wrong Volkswagen. Really? Oh, the German one. This one? Oh yeah, there you go. It's up 7%. Jeez, that's a lot. That is a lot. But then again, I mean, look how much it was down. It was down a lot. What the hell happened with Volkswagen? I remember everybody was so hyped up about Volkswagen. And I was like, where's this hype coming from? Volkswagen is about to go out of business because of Tesla. Like, what? Why are you so hyped up about this? Everybody was like convincing each other, yeah, but Volkswagen, they're going to replace their fleet with electric vehicles. I'm like, are you kidding me? Tesla's going to literally beat them at that. And just pretty much, I don't think they're going to go out of business necessarily, but they're going to suffer a lot because of the newcomers in the EV markets. And Tesla, they have like a gigafactory in their home turf in Germany, Berlin. I think Volkswagen is going to have a tough time. It's bouncing up because it went down like 35% or something. But I'm very bullish on the EV makers that don't have ICE segments. But I was bearish on Volkswagen from what I remember. The past couple months, quarters. Things are cooling off a bit. Yeah, I think so. All right, I think it's the perfect time to wrap up the stream then. I think we've seen most of the upside, and I think stocks might just consolidate from here on out, maybe even until the end of the day. We'll see. If anything, maybe we could see a little bit of weakness on this huge momentum. But hey, who knows, right? I think there's some resistance around 16.4K. So that is interesting. And I do think this recovery could continue further and further if we do not get any FUD. Evergrande collapsing or anything, or the Federal Reserve raising rates or accelerating the taper further. I think until then, we're going to see markets just kind of bounce back, especially these really, really oversold companies with, higher multiples. But yeah, I think the Santa rally could be here. This could be it, right? We usually see a rally in December. I think this is quite a nice rally. I mean, if you take a look at this, we're up 4.6% from the bottom. And if this extends, it could be a 10% run. And that would bring us close to all-time highs, maybe exceeded by the end of the year. All right. But yeah, that was it for now. We're going to be wrapping up this stream. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support and the donations. We'll be back in a couple hours for the Power Hour stream. Do make sure you tune in for that. Check out the socials. Links are down below. Subscribe, like, and we'll be back in a couple hours. Good luck with trading, and we'll be back very soon.